somebody wants to sell their property. Oh, let's back here. See, this is self. This is property of self, meaning native's property, right? So if you have a buyer, that is the opposite house. That is your 7th house, correct? Buyer is anybody opposite you, which is your 7th house.
Yeah.
So if the buyer has to get the property, which house should I be concentrating on?
7th house in that case.
Sorry?
7th house?
7th is the buyer.
7th is the buyer.
Correct. Opposite party, right? Third party who in front of you is your 7th house. So this is you, this is your property.
1, 2, then
this is the buyer.
Where this 11 is, that is 10th house.
Correct. That's the logic you use. So to sell property, you will check 10th CSL.
10th CSL. Okay.
Yeah. So because then you know this is the buyer. Buyer property. This is the buyer. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be the buyer's property. Correct?
Yeah.
So now when we check 10th CSL, so if it gives me number 10, that means buyer will get no, correct?
Yes.
We will also say 4 from 7th house. And we will also say 7 is buyer. That way you will have reference. 7th is the buyer and 10th is possession of property by the buyer. So 4th from 7th. Basically 10th CSL should give me yes.
10th CSL should give.
Yeah, 10th CSL should give us 10.
Yeah.
Now, when this guy gets the property, which means he has got 10, some change also has to happen, no, for the seller. So this is you, this is your property. So if somebody buys, what happens to your property?
It will go away from you.
Yes, which means negation, right? So I need to see 3rd house somewhere. So I need to see
3rd house. Okay.
So property given away. Loss of property.
Yeah.
So the seller has to lose it. So which is the 12th house from 4th. So which is 3rd house. Now the other guy got it, you sold it, but the other guy will also gain, right? He got something. I think it is gain.
11th house.
His gain. 11th house. 11th house from where?
11th house from 7th house.
Correct. So it is 5th house. Correct?
5th house.
Yeah. So you'll see 5. So this is buyer's gain, meaning 11th from 7th. So if you are 10th CSL, somebody asks you, I want to sell the property, you will simply check 10th CSL. If 10th CSL is giving 10, 3, and 5, you can tell him, yes, you will be able to sell the property. So 10 is buyer will get the possession. 3 is loss of property for the current owner. And 5 is gain for the buyer.
No, but 10 CSL is now for the buyer, isn't it?
No. This is for the seller. The person who wants to sell, he gives you his chart. You check his 10th CSL.
The person who is selling. Yeah, you're right.
Correct. his chart will tell you whether somebody will purchase it or not. So his 10th CSL should give you these numbers. Then you can tell him, yes, you will be able to sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you see 11th house, that means gain from the sale
Mhm.
or the seller. Because this guy, if he is expecting X amount and he wants to get that amount, which means some kind of gain is there for the seller also. So his 11th also will come. 5 is 11 for the buyer, 11 is gain for the seller himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how you check sale of property.
Hmm.